What is Obamagate? Is Obama in trouble? Let's find out. This is Real with O'Neal.
It's real.
So what is Obamagate? You know, I've been asked to do this video for a while, and I hesitated and I wanted to see what was going on in the media to find out exactly what's going on with the Michael Flynn case, what Obamagate really is, the Steele dossier, which I've talked about in videos probably like 2 years ago, what it means and everything like that. I'm not going to get into the dossier. Really, I want to start touching on Michael Flynn. But you know what? I'm going to allow our president to talk to us and let us know exactly what Obama is being charged with. Let's find out.
Mr. President, in one of your Mother's Day tweets, you appear to accuse President Obama of the biggest political crime in American history by far. Those were your words. What crime exactly are you accusing President Obama of committing, and do you believe the Justice Department should prosecute him?
Obamagate. It's been going on for a long time. It's been going on from before I even got elected, and it's a disgrace that it happened. And if you look at what's gone on, and if you look at now all of this information that's being released, and from what I understand, that's only the beginning. Some terrible things happened, and it should never be allowed to happen in our country again. So, yeah, John, please.
What is the crime exactly that you're accusing him of?
You know what the crime is. The crime is very obvious to everybody. All you have to do is read the newspapers, except yours.
All right, so he doesn't know. He doesn't know at all. Well, okay, so Donald Trump probably was told not to discuss it. At the same time, he's being fed information. And I think he's being fed a lot of wrong information to either boost his confidence or trying to deflect with what's going on, of course, with his piss poor response with the pandemic. It's obvious. But at the same time, let's find out what exactly is going on with Obamagate. What is Obamagate? You know, a lot of on the conservative side, I see it on all over conservative media. You know, what was going on with the investigation of different members of the Trump campaign, what the FBI was doing, what Obama and Biden was doing. I personally believe, and from what I saw from the documents coming in, the unmasking from the memos and things like that, that Obama did know about it. I mean, why would Obama even talk to Donald Trump and warn him about Michael Flynn? Now, I actually agree with the FBI in the sense that I would have investigated Michael Flynn as well. He had ties with Vladimir Putin. He was on RT, Russian Today, which was it is a state-owned Russian propaganda media machine, which I find a little bit hypocritical coming from Trump supporters saying that CNN and MSNBC are part of the deep state and they're, you know, obviously peddling fake news. That's literally what RT does, and they were paying Michael Flynn to be on there and boost the interests of Russia on behalf of the United States, and him being a high-ranking, you know, officer and a general of the United States. So, you know, I find that a little bit hypocritical, but I understand he's been on the radar with the FBI since 2013. You know, like I said, that he's been shown to be sitting down with Vladimir Putin, and I'm not saying that these are admissions to any crimes. It's not necessarily illegal what he did. It's specifically his call with Sergei Kislyak. It wasn't illegal. It wasn't illegal at all. He was the former national security advisor. He can do that. The problem was that he lied about what was going on. Now, I will say this, and this is where I actually kind of understand and where the documents came in, where, you know, I don't think the FBI exactly knew how to respond with that call, specifically with the Mueller investigation going on. And I personally believe that they were trying to get him to commit a crime so that he could testify on Mueller's investigation, on behalf of the Mueller's investigation. I personally believe that. Here's the thing, though. I get why. Listen, look at this, y'all. I mean, there was a grand total of 272 contacts between Trump's team and Russian-linked operatives that have been identified, including at least 38 meetings. And we know that at least 33 high-ranking campaign officials and Trump advisors were aware of contacts with Russian-linked operatives. And beyond those lies, I mean, this comes straight from the Mueller investigation. He clearly stated in the Mueller investigation memo or the documents that came out that the investigation established that several individuals affiliated with the Trump campaign lied to the office and to Congress about their interactions with Russian-affiliated individuals in related matters. Those lies materially impaired the investigation of Russian election interference. that came out the mouth of Robert Mueller. Now, you might not believe Robert Mueller. You might believe he's part of the deep state, whatever, woo, woo, woo. But at the same time, you got to understand that there was a lot of contacts between Trump campaign members and Russian oligarchs, and specifically straight to Moscow. Listen, y'all, our intelligence community has a duty to the United States to look into matters of foreign influence and compromising behavior of our politicians. That's the point. That's why we have the CIA. That's why we have the FBI domestically, because they're supposed to look into it. That's the point. So I understand why they're investigating Michael Flynn, but I will say this though. I will say this as some concessions to the conservative side and even Trump supporters. From what I've seen and how the memo was, where they didn't know exactly what to do next, that just tells me if they didn't know the goal of what to do with that call, tells me that he probably didn't do anything illegal. And that honestly, he shouldn't have been charged. Now, I also will say that because he shouldn't have been charged, that the FBI, they're part of the deep state. No, that's not what it is at all, at all actually. And even with Obama, like it's not that Obama was doing anything treasonous. They were doing exactly what they were supposed to do as the intelligence community. Listen, it's already unanimously understood by the NSA, the FBI, the CIA, and both the Senate and House intelligence committees unanimously that they knew that the Russians were interfering with our election. They know this. This is not hyperbole. This is not a conspiracy. They understand that this actually happened. And it's probably going to happen again in 2020. They knew this. So, yes, as no matter what the Steele dossier or what the FBI is doing, they had a duty to look into it, specifically because Vladimir Putin and Moscow were backing the Trump campaign to get elected. So yes, if I'm the FBI, I'm going to look into Donald Trump and his people within the campaign. Of course I am. But and what I've seen from the DOJ, because with Bill Barr dropping the case, and let me tell you something about Bill Barr, and Trump supporters aren't going to like it. He is a lapdog, of Donald Trump. That's why that happened. That's why we're seeing Judge Sullivan, backtrack, say, wait a minute, let's get an unbiased judge and amicus curiae. I think John Gleason is the name. Yeah, John Gleason, to look at it, to relook at it, to see what the case is all about. At the same time, that's why I kind of want to say this is why it's going to be a little bit short, just because, Michael Flynn has connections with Russians, has talked to Sergei Kislyak multiple times in the past. But at the same time, I don't think that specific event, that specific conversation was wrong in a sense. So what happened, when people don't know what the call was even about, was that because this is a retaliation to the Russians interfering with our election, we kicked out a bunch of ambassadors from Russia, like Russian ambassadors and things like that, Russian diplomats. And then we put sanctions on Russia. And what in the transcripts that the FBI had on that call with Sergei Kislyak and Michael Flynn is that Michael Flynn told Sergei that you don't worry about it. Once the transitional team, once we come in, you won't have to worry about sanctions, blah, 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 because he was essentially stating, based off of the campaign of what Donald Trump has said on the campaign trail, that they're going to mend the relationship between Vladimir Putin and Vladimir Putin's Russia with the United States. So even then, that's why I had to reiterate that there's so many people within the Trump campaign and Trump himself that had very suspicious, very uncomfortable ties with a lot of Russian oligarchs, Russian diplomats, and Vladimir Putin himself. Like I said, if I'm James Comey, if I'm the head of our McCabe or whoever it is, the head of our counterintelligence, and that they are already flooding our social media with trolling, with misinformation and things to persuade our voters to vote a certain way. Of course, with the release of Hillary Clinton's emails, even if you're for or against what those emails even detailed, or if she was being reckless with it being on a private server, anything, like, she's old, it's gonna be on a private server, by the way, like, duh. And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to say that that's not a good, or that's a good thing. She's an idiot. She is. Hillary Clinton's an idiot for doing that. But she's old and she doesn't know how to use an email. I'll just say that. But at the same time, like, I get it. Like I understand why our counterintelligence community wanted to look into the Trump campaign and people within the Trump campaign. Obviously, duh. I do the same thing. Look at how many people had contacts. 17 different officials, high-ranking Trump officials, had contacts with Russian oligarchs. Come on, like let's be rational. Let's think about this critically. I don't really believe in coincidences in terms of politics. If you're seeing them line up, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a damn duck. And that's what it was. It was a Russian duck. And that Russian duck had a lot of influence in Donald Trump's campaign. Duh. But going back to Michael Flynn, that one interaction with Sergei Kislyak, I don't think was strong enough to charge him with anything. And it's hard to say that because he admitted guilt. But then again, was there a perjury trap? I don't know. It's hard to say if there was a perjury trap or not. And I that's why I'm leaning towards with the Trump supporters on this one in the sense that they didn't know. I feel as if there was a clear-cut, strong case against Michael Flynn, there wouldn't even have been that memo to say that, oh, what do we do? Because they would not. Now you can make the argument that there was already tension between the FBI and Donald Trump's upcoming campaign. They didn't want to have that relationship with the White House, and that's why they were tiptoeing, really, walking on eggshells in terms of what to do with Michael Flynn. But at the same time, I think they overshot their boundaries, like a lot of times the FBI will do. But then again, on the flip side, Obama and like I said again, Obama knew about it. That's a lie. Obama. I don't think Joe Biden knew about it. Then again, Joe Biden doesn't know about much at all to begin with. But Obama probably knew about it. I mean, if Michael Flynn's been on the radar since 2013, then Obama's gonna know about it. Obama's not a stupid. He's not Trump. He's not an idiot. So like, he's gonna know about what's going on. And I truly believe that Obama probably thought that he could have been a compromised Russian agent, possibly, just because of his connections. And then it so happened with the 2016 election, so many Russians were a part or influencing parts of members within the Trump campaign. So I understand. So really, to wrap this up, guys, with the Michael Flynn case, we're going to see what Judge Sullivan does, and with this amicus curiae, what it's going to entail, how they're going to do the retrial. But personally, I believe that Michael Flynn might have been in a perjury trap, maybe. He did admit guilt twice, and he did lie to Michael Pence, and that was after the fact. So I would say that he was definitely not wanting to share information about his calls, even though they had the transcripts, and he talked about it 5 different times. So I don't think that he forgot. When you talk to somebody 5 different times within the day, you're going to remember because it's important, apparently, if you call them 5 times. So, looking at it with Obamagate, if you think Obama's going to go to jail, shut up. He's not. He's not going to jail. Like, he's not going to jail. Obamagate, this is not some massive, like, to say it's a conspiracy, I would say that Obama would have to be doing something treasonous that was against the interests of the United States. That's not what this was. I would have investigated Michael Flynn. I would have investigated George Papadopoulos. I would have. I mean, look at all of our intelligence, the whole community. They all stated, even Republicans themselves have stated that the Russians had interfered with our election. There has to be some sort of false. There has to be some sort of guard, some sort of case, some investigation within that. They're trying to make sure that that doesn't happen again, and we are not seeing that. I mean, hell, what's his name? Mitch McConnell already shot down a bill to make sure that we had strengthened security measures to stop that kind of interference happening within our voting or within misinformation on social media and news and things like that, and connections with politicians, with Russian oligarchs or Russian ambassadors or lobbyists or things like that. He shot that down. So it all looks like they're really, really protecting something within the campaign. There's some deep hidden lie or some deep hidden connection that they're not speaking about or trying to protect. I'll be honest, if I was Donald Trump, I would release all my information. I would allow them to investigate everybody. If you have no fault at all, and you could say, well, wait a minute, Brian, they're going to find some crime. What crime was that going to be? He doesn't want to give out his taxes. What crime are you talking about? And if there is a crime, don't you think it should be investigated? I don't know. You tell me. So this is Real with O'Neal. Follow me on social media, YouTube, all that jazz, things like that. I'm going to be doing something in the future that I want to bring in people that, disagree with me. It doesn't matter if you're a liberal, progressive, libertarian, conservative, Trump supporter. I don't care. It doesn't matter what topic it is. It doesn't even need to be political, to be honest. But I want to hear from you guys. Comment below. Follow, subscribe, everything like that. I'll catch y'all later. Real with O'Neal.
It's real.